Hi, my name is Gabrielius Mizutavicius, and I made the game Dear Sober Me for the ICA, and it is a narrative experience about waking up after a blackout and uncovering the truth behind the night before creating awareness about responsible drinking. So the menu is simple, it's just the audio, which you can change volumes, controls, and then play and exit. So we'll start off with the gameplay demo where I just play it. Who's banging at the door? Oh, my head hurts so much. What happened? This is not my house. My head. So the game goes through that intro. You can hear the confusion music, and you can explore the map and see basically a few furnitures. Well, a furnished room with the music in the background. Then you can interact with objects. My trunk note. Right click to examine. Left click to take. So if we right click, it zooms in. Tells you no, he's sorry, the drunk me is sorry about what happened. And then there's dialogue from my in the random room. Who was banging at the door? It's quite a weird no. No wonder my head hurts. Then you can pick it up, which changes the music, be more chill because you're not panicking from the. You know a bit about it. Then you can just inspect clothes and pick it up as well, which increases your insight and more things spawn. So sock, uh, little sock, the pants, Polaroid. Oh, why is there someone here? They're following me. Our little Polaroid there too, and then another one. And then tools spawn in that you can use to unlock. So the key, and then the hammer, which you can unlock, and then it plays the outro, where you can finally leave this place. And the door opens. So, with my implementation of the four verbs, so examine, so you can see the few bits of the note, the title, and then the actions that you can take, which also you can examine more, where you can pulls up closer to your face, and then a little dialogue appears underneath, and basically like a little description. Then the collect, which basically adds more insight, adds it to your inventory, and changes a bit of your player state, which is the insights. And in that case as well, activate, which spawns more things when you kind of activate the object. Collecting the object is activating it and allowing you to spawn in more, which you can then unlock gated items, which would be the tools here. Right now you can't do anything, needs a key to unlock, needs a hammer to take off. So you collect these, which changes the player state, and this would be using, in that case, you'll be using the hammer to unlock the plank, using the key to unlock the lock, the same thing at reaching the end. Four verbs are implemented in the code by using the UI picker info, and using that formatter to get the text, and go through the handle object hit, which would go through collecting and examining, and basically deactivating in use as well. And this would just hard coded a check, which what happened where. In here, it has two states. So examining, and collecting. And this would just add it to the player stats, like the music to change, the insight to add, like obtain key as well. And this is the examination code, where you basically just examine the object. This could have been done more efficiently, having a list of dialogues that could be played, and then the undo of it. This just basically puts the object in front of the player and then puts it back in the position when you do the right click again. The inventory system and player state. So the player inventory is just I just publish a new item that is added to the inventory and just keep it there. It isn't really used within the code, it's just that in future that would be used to validate what the player has. And then the player state is my own version 1 component, which just has the insights if they're examining, if they have the key or hammer, and what the unlock progress is, and the current music being played. There's a lot of triggable volumes. The sound effect for collecting an item. There's also the breaking the planks, opening the door with the key. There's also the examining sound. A lot of them just use the event, where it just plays the sound effect, as well with the music change from confused to calm. There's only a few camera modes. There is the player camera mode, which the player moves around, and then the intro outro camera, where it's just basically just a manipulative camera where I could just move it place to place. Third camera is not really a real camera. It's just when I do examine an item, I just disable the mouse movement and drive for the main camera to allow the player to look at the item. There's spatial audio within the game, which is the birds chirping and cars honking. And I created an object which is a sound emitter, which basically just creates the sounds for me, and that just plays a sound effect with the spatial audio enabled and the location. With that, I didn't get it to work fully for myself. I had it only work on either left or right of my ear, and it'll just stay on that side. So the birds chirp on your right side and cars honk on your left side. I don't have that much data model objects but the specific one I do have is the player state, which has the variables like insight is examining and all of those used within main and used to verify bits of details. Other than that, objects are usually just defined by the name, if they're enabled disabled, if they have the transformation, and gliders. I use the same design pattern that was initially created for us, and I tried to keep it as standard. There has been a few times where I just kept it in main, but most of the time I tried to push it outside of that, so I added sound emitter component, which is used, player state component, which was required, but I still designed pattern to have things calling from main to another component instead of having the main being the god class. One of the things I would have moved out would be the examination code, which I haven't done it in this project. For my technical excellence feature that I implemented, which was the option B, the orchestration system, and I created an intro and outro to satisfy that requirement. With the intro, I created the door knocking sound being played, the dialogue appearing, the self-talk that appears as well, and with that also camera transformation and just more sound effects, more dialogue that is timed, sequenced. So when the sound is talking, it appears at that correct time. And then for the outro, was also just the camera position moving, the door moving, rotating the door, and camera rotating as well, and then exiting. And that's my game. I hope you enjoyed.